So President Nixon, if you could describe yourself in one word, what word would it be?
What word would you express?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I were describing myself in one word, it'd be candy. But I mean, you're the president. You're good with terms. What word would you describe yourself with?
A dumb little waxen figure going through the motions.
What would you say about Casey?
What it boils down to, I didn't want to discredit the man as an individual. I couldn't care less about the punk. I wanted to discredit that kind of activity, which was despicable.
Would you say that our school is in a dire situation, much like Vietnam and the Civil War?
This nation was torn apart in an ideological way by the war in Vietnam, as much as the Civil War tore apart the nation when Lincoln was president. No, it's true that we didn't have the North and South.
Well, if you look at the positioning of the wall, it's technically east and west. I mean, really, well, I thank you for taking some time. Here's a Marquette High shirt. Mr. McCarthy, what would you say is the real issue with both our school and the wall?
One real issue, not the phony issue, is the issue of communism, corruption, all tied up with the Korean War.
I don't understand what the Korean War has to do with this.
It was a vote upon an all-important issue, and I just hope that many of our good friends realize that that is the issue.
All right. What would you say about Casey? Have you gotten any other information on him other than what we gave you?
We have just completed a complete and thorough research on Adlai Stevenson.
How do you get Stevenson and Casey mixed up?
Well,
Okay, so when you finish investigating Casey, when will we get our report?
and I intend to give that picture on a nationwide network, and television, I hope also.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is supposed to be a confidential report. This isn't going to work. Here, take your complimentary Market High t-shirts and take off.
It's so easy, you see, to talk about communism generally, to talk about the sellout in China and Korea generally.
What does this have to do with China or Korea?
Mr. President, how would you compare your political ideals to the ones Mr. Kowaleski holds?
I'm going to revert to my former statement.
You didn't make any previous statement except to proclaim a bunch of completely fallacious, unsound logic. It'd make me want to take your ID card if you were a Marquette student.
I'm going to revert to my former statement.
Mr. President, you're acting like you violated the 8th commandment. All right then, what preliminary steps do you think should be taken to bring about peace on both sides?
I'm going to revert to my former statement.
Is someone that I'm going to interview at least going to answer my questions?
I'm here talking to none other than Luke Skywalker. So Luke, now that I've explained our Civil War, explain the Civil War you were a part of.
There's a galactic civil war being raged in the galaxies between the baddies, we don't know why they're bad, they're just bad, and the goodies. And the robots contain information that could be very helpful to the goodies.
Well, I haven't seen any robots. Maybe I should look harder in the school archives. There's gotta be traces of robots throughout Marquette High.
Right.
So looking at your part in the Galactic War, do you have any tips to end ours?
It's difficult to talk about this in retrospect.
Really?
Yes.
Did it make you crazy or something?
Gee, wouldn't it be great if somebody made like a high adventure for children and made them...
I'll take that as a yes. You're a hero. What is Casey imagining himself as to us teachers?
He sort of imagined himself as the hero, and he thought, okay, now what would I like to do?
What would he like to do? Cancel Follies? Really? Next question. What do you really think
Evil
of...
personified.
Don't jump ahead of me. I wasn't asking about Casey.
I find more and more parallels between the two of us.
Parallels with Casey?
Right.
Could you explain more?
I can't do this. I just can't do this. I mean, I could hardly say it, much less...
But you just did.
Right? And putting me on the spot. These are nice trousers.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That really boosted my self-esteem.
Well, it's been vaporized.
What? Well, I'll let that comment go for Marquette High. How do we restore order to MUHS?
We have people trying to make order of something that is just so much nonsense.
Well, yeah. I mean, Casey doesn't make sense in why he wants to cancel Follies.
I don't know what the matter with him is. He's a crazy guy.
I didn't hear that. We're out of time. Here's your Marquette High t-shirt. I'm speaking with Isaac Asimov, who is my favorite science fiction writer of all time. Sorry, George Lucas. Mr. Asimov, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Well, I've told you a little bit about what's going on at MUHS. What do you think Casey is thinking about?
Colonies on the moon, for instance, about robots.
Wait, about robots?
About robots.
Do you pronounce it diabetes or diabetes? Well, let's move on. Should we have stopped Casey beforehand? Could we have known about this?
We can't just predict.
Well, of course we can. There must have been clues.
I don't think really that's possible scientifically.
You really think so?
Oh, yes.
At least that makes me feel a little better. The weight of MUHS just got lifted off my shoulders a little bit.
It seems so, but it isn't so.
What do you mean?
Well, they wanted somebody who would make the entire project sound plausible, and I did my best. And they felt I was qualified to do that, and I hated to tell them anything else, so I said, yes, I am.
Were you a part of this?
I don't think really that's possible scientifically.
Well, yeah, I'm in 1975. MUHS's problem is from 2012.
Oh, yes.
So you just duped me. Man, you're a good science fiction writer.
The reader will go along with you into the realm of fantasy if you will give him an excuse. But to do it without realizing you are going into fantasy is insulting to the intelligent reader.
Could you say that again? Please? Well, never mind. All right, it looks like we're out of time. Here's your Marquette t-shirt.
Asimov. I interviewed Asimov and Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, yeah. No, he just wanted to go to Tashi Station and get some power converters. After you.
Wow. You really fast.
There you go. Have some candy.
I love caramel in my teeth though from last piece.
Yeah, I know. That's better than your hair, though. I mean, it's, well, you don't have much of that. But.
Thanks for noticing.
I appreciate it.
Time travel's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I would have preferred a DeLorean, but the phone booth is pretty cool.
Yeah, the phone booth, you know, in the phone booth I can put a nacho machine in.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm going to put hot nachos in.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
So, Feely, I was just at the White House and I interviewed a former president.
Hey, you like root beer?
What are you talking about?
Root beer. Do you like root beer?
I just interviewed a former president and you're talking about root beer?
I like A&W root beer the best.
Dude, you are crazy.
I love root beer.
What are you talking about root beer? Luke Skywalker?
Yeah,
How was that?
It was amazing. I mean, all I can say is this whole experience. That was